What's up and welcome to Party Invite, where we invite you to a gaming community of inclusiveness and diversity. Your party members today are Thomas Egan.
Hey.
Carlos Gomez.
Yo.
Debbie Hill.
Greetings.
And I'm your party leader, Chris Mowry. On today's episode, we're going to dive into our most anticipated gaming things of 2021. But first, this episode will be released after our Among Us charity stream. So I just want to thank everyone for joining us and donating to Extra Life. Thank you to Crane Brewing for partnering with us on that. And thanks to everyone that went out to the tap room and purchased our 4-pack. I was telling everyone the other day how exciting it is to see people sharing their photos of their 4-packs and of them watching the show. It really does mean a lot to us. So thank you all for that.
Yay!
Yay! Let's get into what we've been playing. I don't know that a ton has changed for a lot of us, but let's get into it here. Devi, what have you been playing?
Well, of course, I've been playing Ninjala as a brand ambassador of the company. I have to,
So fancy.
put that out there and bring it to the audience. So, of course, I've been playing a lot more of that. Overwatch just started their holiday event on the 15th. So week 1 is where you can earn the new Junkrat skin, and I think week 2 will be. Well, I know week 3 is Roadhog. I can't remember week 2. But basically what you do is you play and earn a whole bunch of prizes from holiday-themed costumes and skins and stamps like that just by playing the game, which is really cool. They also have some new modes, which include a freeze tag and a dodgeball event, which is really, really neat. So I've been all up in that. And you can check my VODs on my stream to see how that goes.
What's the dodgeball like? Is that like a...
So it's like, if you ever played the May Snowball Offensive, it's kind of like that, except for you can catch the snowballs now.
Oh, okay.
So you can reload from the piles of snow, but you can also catch snowballs that are thrown at you. And then, you get the Flurry Ultimate where you just fire multiple. But you also get 3 instead of just 1. So that's really cool.
That's nice.
Catching is it has like a 1-second cooldown, so if you miss, you can still be countered. You can't just like catch, or just hold it forever.
Some Neo snowball stuff.
It's really neat, and I like the freeze tag too. It's basically when you die, you get frozen in a block of ice, and then people can like touch you to revive you, and then you continue on that way until the teams have been eliminated. So really cool moves this time around.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I like when they do. I loved Lucio Ball. I was better at that than Rocket League for sure. So I like when they do those fun kind of modes. I wish they just had. In the arcade mode, just those are in there all the time and you can just mess around in there. But I have a feeling like a few of those just wouldn't get the numbers in order to keep those up and running, I would think. But
they're all available cycling through the arcade during the Overwatch or the anniversary event. Oh, so if you ever played during the anniversary, they all cycle through the arcade.
Oh, cool.
Like every event, every holiday, every summer games, all of that. And you can re-earn the opportunity to unlock all of the skins and stamps and all the cosmetics that come with those too.
It's been a long time since I've dipped my toe into Overwatch, but that's good to know. When's the anniversary? When's the anniversary event?
Oh, May something.
Oh wow. Oh, so
it's usually in mid-May.
Yeah, it's in May. What I want to see is, this will never happen, but I want to see a Reinhardt arcade mode that's just modeled off of Griffball from Halo. Yes. I actually missed that game mode. I had some good times in college with that game.
That's really fun.
I mean, Blood Gulch is in Fortnite, so who knows, right? It could.
I think it's possible now. Oh my god, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, that's a thing.
I honestly tried to repress it.
What else have you been playing, Debbie?
Well, Sephiroth came out today, and there's an asterisk on that because the technical release date for Sephiroth and Smash Bros. Is the 22nd. But there's a special mode that you can play. It's a Sephiroth challenge mode where you face him as a boss, and if you win, you unlock him early. Oh, nice. And that's going on from today, which is the 17th, to when his actually release, which is the 22nd. So that's really cool.
Doesn't that just mean that he's out today? I mean...
Well, the mode's not available if you don't have the Fighter Pass, or if you haven't purchased the DLC.
I see.
Yeah. So you can purchase the DLC separately, of course, or get the Fighter Pass to automatically have all the fighters as they're released. And if you do either of those things, you'll gain access to the mode. Or the challenge.
Super cool.
Or you could just wait.
5 days.
I know, but he's really cool. If you watch the presentation video that Sakurai posted on Nintendo's YouTube, which is not recorded from his house, they're back to his office now, so that's cool. Yay for handling the pandemic.
Yeah.
But yeah, he shows off all his moves and everything, and he looks like a really cool character. Like his sword is actually pretty balanced. Like it has range and everything, but the way that they temper and counterbalance that is really smart. And I'll let you guys just research that on your own, in case you're interested, because not a lot of Smashes in the community around here anymore, because we don't do locals. But onto Spellbreak, which has just released their new chapters mode, like their first official chapter, because the ones beforehand were all of the prologue episodes. And now their full story is starting to kick into gear. And it's about how the Spellstorm, which is like the circle of the game, came to be. And so I'm really looking forward to diving into the lore on that, because you can check out the lore on the wiki. There's a whole bunch of external places like in Overwatch where they have everything on the outside of the game, like comics and videos and everything. It's the same way with Spellbreak. So you can just go and do that. But I'm really looking forward to how they implement the story in the actual game itself. So that's going to be cool. I only just started, so I don't know too much about it.
Huh.
And last but not least, I have a new game. It is a Battle Royale / MOBA. So if you've ever played Battle Royale, you'll kind of understand. But it's called Eternal Return, and it is available on Steam right now for early access for free.
Ooh.
And you basically, you start out with your team, or it's like solo, duo, and trio. And so you start out with whatever party you have, going around the map and collecting resources that you can upgrade your arsenal with. And so that's the kind of battle royale of it. And then the MOBA of it is everyone has their own special abilities, and the traversal is kind of like a MOBA, so it's got that same locked-in speed, you know, where everyone's just moving at that same pace. And all of the team fights and everything, the battling elements are like MOBAs. So like if you played League of Legends or Smite or Heroes of the Storm, you'll be comfortable moving and fighting in this game. It's just if you haven't played any battle royales, then you won't, because you'll level up your abilities and everything like a MOBA, but you'll have to upgrade your weaponry like in a battle royale, or find, you know, the epic loot, the legendary loot, or whatever. So it's really cool, and it has like the kind of aesthetic appeal of Genshin Impact or Scarlet, what's it called? That
Nexus.
new game that was just announced.
Nexus.
Thank you, Scarlet Nexus.
Definitely
Very
anime
anime,
inspired. Yep.
very 2.5D. So I would highly recommend checking it out. It's free. The only thing you have to waste is your time.
That's an interesting matchup. I remember, what was that 2K game that came out right as Overwatch did? Battleborn.
Battleborn.
Was super MOBA heavy. And I feel like, I thought it was a pretty good game. It just coming out at the same time as Overwatch was not a good idea.
Battleborn was a lot of fun. I actually really miss it.
Yeah, that reminded me of that. I know it's not exactly Battle Royale, but that's probably the most MOBA heavy game. I did play it. I did dabble in the what was it, Paragon? I dabbled in that a little.
Yeah. Which they just released their early access for the spiritual successor called Fault.
How about you tell me what you've been playing?
Same stuff, but I beat Hades, and that game's pretty sweet. Turns out when you beat the game, you can play it more. It's wild. I am glad I beat that game, because I did like what happens when you escape Hades. And I can't wait to do it more. It really opens up. There are still a ton of question marks in my journal or whatever. There's still a character I haven't even met yet. There is a whole area in my like item, like my gadget, where I like choose whatever I'm going to take with me. My what am I trying to think of?
Oh, your keepsake closet.
Yeah, my keepsake, basically my accessory that I take that has a special ability. There's a whole section of that screen that's nothing but question marks, so I don't even know what that unlock is. But yeah, without getting into it too much, the game gives you the opportunity to increase the risk and reward to continue unlocking the items. Well, to continue unlocking items that are otherwise You can't get them any other way. But also, it opens up entirely new ways to upgrade your everything. And man, I mean, I am excited to keep playing. I'm really excited to do the mechanic where you basically gift people items until they really like you. I think that's almost my favorite part of the game. Like, I love the gameplay, but I love finding all these new dialogue things from different gods and bosses and characters in the like hub in the House of Hades. I just love that stuff. Carlos, you and I were talking earlier today about visual novels, and because you had mentioned that coffee
Talk, yes.
coffee talk game, and I asked if you thought I would like it, and you described it as a game that's like mostly visual novel. Well, I liked Pyre, which was the game that Supergiant made right before Hades. I liked Pyre. Absolutely loved the soundtrack. One of my favorite game soundtracks of all time. Just didn't like the actual like game play of it, like where you're playing cosmic basketball. Basically, you have a team of 3, and you're trying to basically put a ball in a hole, more or less. I did not like that part of the game at all. I didn't like a single thing about it, but I really liked all the visual novel stuff, and that's the first game I've ever played with visual novel elements. So even though I only played like 3 hours of that game, I'm really glad that all that visual novel stuff carried over into Hades, because I cannot get enough of it, and it doesn't seem like there's an end anywhere in sight. It seems like there is so much for me left to unlock, so many dialogue options and little interactions, just for so long. I don't know. I've probably properly put like 25 hours in that game. I mean, I bet my play time says like 45 or 50 because I spend a ton of time sitting there listening to music while I walk around my house. But boy, I sure love that game. I mean, I'm going to at least spend 100 hours with this by the time I'm done with it. Yeah, I'm really excited to continue playing that. As I've said 100 times before, that was my game of the year for 2020, and I'm probably going to put even more hours into it in 2021. So
yeah, Hades is like new game plus 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 times plus. So to the power of plus. So you're gonna have a good time, I think.
Yeah.
There's
For
some
sure.
characters I don't think you've met yet that I'm waiting for you to meet, and I'm so excited.
Yeah.
It does bum me out, Thomas, that you never got through Pyre just because you didn't like the sportsy type gameplay in there, because a lot of Hades is them building off of everything that they've done in their previous works. It's just like taking little bits of all of those and putting them into one package, and for me at least, it gave me a bigger like appreciation for their growth as a studio, to be like, oh, I've beaten all these and I've seen what they're taking. That game's great. I still don't know if I'm ever going to get around to finishing it, there's just constantly stuff to play. So once it starts getting into the backlog, it's tough.
Make it one of those games that you just pick up like once a week and you just do a run, because eventually your character's going to be so strong that the odds of you beating it are just going to keep going up. I mean, in my game, I maxed out. I can't spend any more of the darkness currency. There's nothing to spend it on. I have all of it. I hope there's a way that I can continue to use that, because I sure haven't seen it yet, but I am going to keep getting it. But anyway, I'm not sweating that. I'm sure everything's going to be fine. But once I leveled everything up, yeah, the odds of me doing better were much, much higher.
Yeah.
Just play like once a week, drop in for a little thing.
I wish I had a Switch where I could just, like, if I was sitting on the couch, just like sit there and play.
Did you actually just say that out loud, Chris?
I did. Yeah. I wish I had a Switch. Yeah, now I'll get the wish.com. Hey, here's this. That's not a Switch. I don't want that.
Yeah, Hades is a fantastic Switch game, and I'm very happy that I'm playing that on my Switch. We're in a position now. I'm trying to spend more time hanging out with Lizzie on our couch where we can both game and watch TV and stuff at the same time. Because when I'm over here in my gaming zone, I usually have headphones on. There's a wall, like we both have to lean back to see each other.
Right.
It's just not conducive to socializing with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to plan my future game purchases on being able to be in the living room, since I'll be able to stream from anything in the near future. I think any game that I think could possibly be good in handheld mode, I'm just going to buy on the Switch, because I can either play it, sitting on the couch with it in my hands, or I can pop it into the slot. I mean, we have a Switch plugged into both of our TVs, so no matter which one's in use, the other one can handle a Switch. So I think unless it's like a big title that I think only my PS5 can run, I think I'm just going to buy everything on Switch. Of course, assuming it runs okay, but
Right.
yeah, I think I'm gonna like double my Switch library this upcoming year.
Oh yeah, the disparity between handheld and just going through the dock is not that bad. Like,
It really is.
Yeah.
Some games are even
Xenoblade.
better in handheld mode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I actually
something
prefer
like that.
Hades in handheld mode.
That's just
Um,
the same way.
mhm.
Because there's like, I don't know what it is about like the refresh rate or something of the TV, but sometimes, like very rarely, there'll be like little blips.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had that with the sound too. That could also be our TV. But yeah, I mean, everything just works when you do it in handheld mode. I know people were getting salty online when the Switch Lite came out, and people, for some people it's great. For other people it's not. Well, if it's not for you, then just don't buy it.
Right.
But for people like me, the main reason I even use my TV for my Switch is so that Lizzie can watch me play. Like, if I'm just playing for me, how most people play, then all I need is handheld. Like 90% of my Switch play when I'm by myself is on handheld. I don't even think about using my TV. But anyway, Hades is good, and then we're playing Stardew Valley again. We booted up multiplayer for the first time a month or two ago or something like that, and we had our friend over again yesterday and played just another solid night of that. It's really fun. I'm happy that we're getting so much use out of that game. There's not much really to say other than that, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing more Stardew here in winter, under a blanket on the couch.
Yeah, I think that this season is the best time of the year for like life sims like that: Animal Crossing, Fantasy Life,
Or
Rune
Spirit
Factory,
Fair.
Stardew Valley, Spirit Fair. Well,
I mean, Hades.
I mean, like
kind of a dating
life
sim.
sims.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just like that. Get the hot cocoa, snuggle under a blanket on the couch, and it's like the really bright gray outside, to where it's like sunshiny, but like gray, and
Yeah.
like the trees are all barren and like
Hate it.
ashen, and
Yeah,
it's
you
so
open up your front
pretty.
door and you're just like, ew.
Yeah. Yeah, like most of this
open
week.
door? I don't know about doing that. That's questionable.
Carlos.
And you haven't beat Last of Us, right? You're close. though.
Correct. We're recording on Thursday. Tomorrow on Friday, we're setting aside our whole night to hopefully finish the game. We've got, take this how you will, I'm not going to explain it, but I think we have the last sixth of that game left to complete. And I'm
Last
really
sixth.
hoping...
He's crying through our entire stream. He's like, please donate.
Oh, God.
Please.
So I'm really hoping to beat that whole thing tomorrow. If not, I mean, I've got all of Saturday until our Among Us stream.
Right.
But I got to knock it out. Lizzie's also pushing me to do that so we can start Cyberpunk. So,
Oh god.
yeah, but once that starts, there's no turning back. So
Nope.
we got to get through it. So that's my life right now.
Carlos, what is your life right now?
Yeah. I had a little fun writing this up, I guess, but most of what I've been playing is the eShop, the Nintendo eShop, because I got a chunk of credit, and I spent at least 5 hours like going through prices and adjusting my wish list. Like, I forget if they increased the wish list size on Switch a while back, and I filled it up months ago. And so with all the sales and I had a chunk of like $70 in credit.
Damn.
And so I did a little bit of finagling. I had points available, or coins, whatever. And so I ended up with World End Syndrome, which is a very anime visual novel. I ended up with Smash, Mario Odyssey, and Hades, along with a couple tinier games, The Long Journey Home and Paratopic, which came out in 2018, but it was recent on Switch. Paratopic is a super short first-person horror game. It looks it. They even say it on the eShop that you can technically get through it in like 45 minutes, but it's retro in a very good way. It looks like between PS1 and PS2 graphics. It's kind of perfect, and it's got it actually got some awards and stuff for its audio design and soundtrack. I don't know if you've ever heard of. I just now blanked on it. I was thinking about it all day. Oh man, I need to. There was a DS game. There was a DS first-person horror game. Oh my god, I can't remember it. I'm like the. There we go. Thank you. Says the person that actually played through it. Dementium on DS. There's
Dementium.
like a super cool first-person horror game, and Paratopic seems so similar. And it was one of those titles that you're just like, you know what? Super indie developer. If I get 2 hours out of it and I spent like $1.50 maybe on it, then that's worth it to me. And it's, I mean, just going back to the good old horror days of, the in between PS1 and PS2 era, like Parasite Eve and Silent Hill and stuff like that. Like that's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah,
it looks like that kind of game.
The polygons on this are.
Oh my god, yeah.
There's something.
Go to the eShop page, and it's so funny, but it's so great. It looks perfect, and it actually was talked about in 2018. I never heard anything about it, but
oh my god, this is like Illbleed.
Yeah, for sure. Like, just look at it. It looks like a whole lot of fun.
Oh my gosh.
And it was on sale, I think, for like $3, but I used coins for it again, so I got extra discounted. It just made me super happy to grab it. And I can't wait to play that sometime this weekend. So, like, all that said, spending so much time on the eShop, I am fully stocked for the few extra days off work that I'll have for the holidays and stuff. So,
nice.
Very excited about that. I'm about 12 hours into Cyberpunk. I got through the first major plot point, I guess. For the people that know Jackie and Johnny, that's really all I have to say, I hope. And I'm really excited to play more of it. I spent the last like 2 hours or so doing the again, for people that have played it, I did the cabbie missions for I'm forgetting everything this week, but the AI cab, I did all those missions.
Where you like get Delamain?
Yeah, Delamain. There we go. You're just chasing cars, literally chasing cars for about an hour or so, but I spent like a couple hours doing it because I kind of fucked up a few times. But it was really fun, and it's just one of those side missions that you're like, wait, this is a side mission or is this a main mission? And
it's kind of intertwined.
Yeah, it brings some stuff to the main story, obviously, but it's got so many references to other things. I'll just say Portal, maybe.
Ooh.
It's got so many references to other little cyberpunk-ish ideas, just in one side quest that it made me so excited.
Yeah,
and it was just driving mostly.
Yeah, I did a side quest the other day where there is you're like kind of searching around in this lab, and there is a Death Stranding Easter egg right there, and I was like, oh my god, what? I guess people have missed it and haven't seen it yet, so I won't give it away where it's at. But yeah, it was just in the world. I was like, whoa, that's interesting. And then of course, Death Stranding announced that you could get like a cyberpunk bike and do some other things in Death Stranding now.
Oh, that's cool.
That's legit.
But there is like this will be breaking news as of this night, but this won't be breaking when this actually goes live. But as of about 45 minutes ago, Sony is pulling Cyberpunk 2077 from the PlayStation Store and offering full refunds.
Oh shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that just happened. So people are able to get those refunds. PlayStation's finally being like, all right, we'll take care of it for you, because people were trying and it wasn't working. So they're doing that, and they're pulling the game. I don't know. The game will probably have to go through another certification again to go back up.
That's an intense reaction.
On PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just on PS4 or in, like the PlayStation Store in general.
That's what I'm wondering.
Because I would understand them pulling it from the PS4, but not the PS5.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me.
This looks like PS4.
Yeah.
This Polygon article says PS4 owners. Yeah. I mean, I think my PS5 is going to run it just fine. If they didn't even allow me to buy it, like, let me make my own mistakes.
Well, here's the thing, though, too. You're technically running the PlayStation. You're running the PlayStation 4 version. So.
That's true.
Maybe check and see if you can even play it.
Just let me make my own mistakes.
Well, you have the PS5 version for free, right? Because that was one of the things
when it comes.
When it comes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still enjoying my time with that game. There's, I've heard some reviewers say that they weren't enticed to do the side missions or the side quests, and I am just like, I don't get that, because that's been my favorite part of the game so far. The main story is doing its job and doing its thing, but the relationship building and the character building and the world building in the side quests are just amazing. There's some that there's like actual side missions, and then there's gigs, and gigs are just like short, like go here, get this thing, go here, kill this person, what have you, those kind of things. But the actual side missions that are its own like separate list are, man, they are so good. I'll find myself just kind of tracking one, finishing that one, going on to the next side mission, do like 5 or 6 of those, and then pop into a main mission and start doing that stuff. I've also found a very good way to make some money if people need to know about that. Any beverages that are in the game, any of the consumable beverages, which I rarely use consumables in RPGs. I'm just, my armor is my armor, my health regen with my item is what I need. I don't need a beer that gives me 5 health and decreases my stability or whatever. You know, I just don't use them.
Right.
So if you get the drinks and you break them down, you can then sell those components and like double your money. So basically, I think it's like $10 per drink if you go up to a vending machine, and then you can break those down, and each one of those components is worth, like, this one's worth $8 and this one's worth $3 or $4 or $5. So you're basically slowly getting your money up, but let me tell you, there's a lot of them vending machines. So running through the street and being like, oh, sweet.
Did you see all those memes from years ago that were like, it would be some dumb electronic, like, jury-rigged solution, and then it would say Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes.
It'd be like a power strip plugged into itself, and it'd be like Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I just imagine it's somebody taking like a bottle of beer and just smashing it on the ground, and like it's him holding a smashed beer bottle, just like Cyberpunk 2077.
I mean, it doesn't get much better than the one you shared, the freaking spaghetti noodles in the drawer, like, and it like it does look a little bit like the shattered image Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down for that. I will add at least that Cyberpunk is like the first game I think that actually made me actively okay with first-person bike riding.
Oh, really?
Like, motorcycle in first person is fucking crazy, and I love it. And it's relatively realistic. Like, if you think about GTA and stuff, you're like, nah, I'm just gonna hit something and fly fucking forever. but the bumps are really cool in first person. Like, you know exactly when you're like, oh shit, that's the median, and
Yeah.
like rocking around. It's so funny. And
Driving
like,
in KC like.
yeah, exactly. Like you could still wipe out pretty hard, but
Oh my god, I
ga-
flew off of
the
an
game doesn't
overpass
make
the other
that
day.
the idea. Exactly. Like it doesn't make it about that though. Like
Yeah.
GTA, you're like, yep, I am wiping out. I know like a minute ahead of time I'm gonna wipe out. But
Yeah.
like you can hit 100 miles per hour in Cyberpunk in first person on a bike and still be okay.
Well, you're
like,
part road,
you can
so-
drift and stuff.
Yeah,
And the bike's kind of legit.
the bikes are
Well,
amazing.
I'm seeing some video of like the car driving because I've been watching some people play like on Twitch and everything just to get an idea of like what it's like before making the decision to buy it myself eventually. And they still haven't figured out car physics yet, and it makes me sad.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
everything's a thing.
yeah. That and the cars are squirrely as shit. Like the back end just feels so slick.
Yeah,
But I will
it's
say,
working all on the highway.
I bought a vehicle that was even more squirrely on the back end, but it just made me realize I was driving incorrectly. I was like, oh, instead of slamming on my brake or like tapping my brake with this vehicle, because it'll just make me start weaving all over the road, I just need to let up off the gas a little and I'll be able to make these turns. So that
It's like driving a stick.
Yeah.
Like real life.
so that helped me figure that out. And the motorcycles are amazing. I ride a motorcycle 98% of the time. I bought a car and I'm like, shouldn't have wasted that 30 grand or whatever it was. I bought my Akira bike and that should be the bike that I use for the rest of the game. And I shouldn't worry about it. Because also riding the motorcycle, I drive in third person, so I get to see my character more often. Yeah, that game it's
Who wants that?
just it definitely has faults. How are you experiencing anything too terrible on your end, Carlos, or has it been mild?
No, still the same for since the last time I played. I'm on the 1X,
Yeah.
so I'm not getting anything crazy. As far as the pop-in stuff goes, like all the hilarious meme photos and stuff like that of the definitely not loaded people.
Yeah.
I actually had that one time, and it was after I got done with a bike ride. It was like 11 hours in. I had zoomed through like 4 boroughs for real, and I stopped. I hopped off like real fast, and then I looked over at somebody, and they were like that for less than 1 second.
You're like,
and they were good.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, and then I lived my life, you know.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, I'll say for people that are really worried about those things, at least on PC, Xbox Series X, is that right? 1X.
The fact that we have to ask every
Series
time
X
is
is good.
just
It drives me
I've got a
fucking
1X.
crazy. I keep getting mixed up. It drives me nuts that that's how they name those. It doesn't make any sense to me. But if you're playing on those or any higher generation consoles, it's a Fallout game. Like you're going to get those kind of Fallout-y kind of bugs. I did have a bug that I wasn't sure exactly what was happening twice. I'm 37 hours in now, and there was a bug during
I haven't even put that many hours into Hades,
Yeah.
dude.
Really?
I mean, I'll check tonight.
It was like during a payoff of like one of those side missions that like has like a story payoff at the end. And it was, I couldn't see anything. It was like, I'm not sure if I screwed up when I hopped off I got out of the car and maybe I like glitched into the car. I'm not sure what happened, but I could hear them talking and knew the gravity of the situation, but I could not see anything until it finally was like, oh, sorry. And like got me out of there.
Oh no.
Which was a little odd and a little like, oh, that's a bummer. I was like, it's a side mission. I'm not too worried. And I had 2 people call at the same time. Have you had this happen to you, Carlos? 2 people called at the same time, and their faces are in the caller window, just like melding together, and like both
No, I've
talking
had
at the
2
same
calls
time.
come in, but I only pressed the button once to answer, so I have not had that. Like, did you press the button twice?
No.
You're like, oh yeah, sure, I'll take that call and that one at the same.
So what happened? So what happened is if you don't press the answer button, it'll answer for you. So something happened where I think I was on a mission and that person was calling me, and I was like in an area. It was a Delamain thing, and this is why Delamain for me, I can't stand it and wish I would have never have taken his mission, because he's constantly calling me, being like, "Hey, there's a vehicle in the area. You should look for it." And I'm like, "I'm not looking for I'm doing something else right now, man." But every time you're in an area of his car one of his cars being around, he will call you. So I think I was on a main story mission, or not a main story mission, but some sort of side mission. And somebody was calling me about the mission, but I'd also got into an area where a Delamain car was. So it just like the game freaked out, and they were like melding together in the window and like talking at the same time. And I am just like, oh God. And
Nice.
it's the Delamain missions for me are the ones where I'm just like, I wish I wouldn't have taken this. I could have said, nope, sorry, I can't do it right now.
Now,
But
for anyone that is listening to this and gets, when you get to the Delamain missions, just fucking do all of them. It's fine. And they're great. And if you want to explore the depths of your humanity, that's what the Delamain missions are for.
whoa.
If you want to
Boom.
feel bad for a car,
An AI.
you're gonna feel bad for a car and an AI. But like, you actually, a couple of them kind of they got me. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I
So
wish
are
I
we
didn't
playing
have to do
Cyberpunk
this.
or are we playing Cars the movie? Like,
Right? Yeah, it really gets into some fun areas with that. It's super cool.
Okay.
Delamain's like a car's in my area. Ka-chow! Like,
Yeah, no, he calls you and he's like, hi, there is a car of mine that is in your area. I don't have the exact pinpointed location. You have to find it. And I'm just always like, it's around me right now and I'm doing something else. I'll come back. And I haven't.
I mean, I think the trips, I think overall the trip for all the Delamain missions is probably like 30 miles back and forth between all the stuff. So I just did it straight up.
Okay. Like right as you got him, you just went through him.
Yeah.
So obviously I haven't played Cyberpunk, but you guys talking about the guy calling you up and being like, look around you, like go find something. That makes me think of a better version of that. When I was watching Lizzie play Miles Morales, one of the ways that they flesh out some of the, I assume they're side quests, but they could have been main quests. Everything just looks so good. I never knew. I don't know. That game's great, but I was the one who played it. Anyway, there's a mechanic where you'll be sent to an area and you need to find something in the area that matches a sound clip that you've got. And it was really cool. I love that mechanic. It was a way to use environmental storytelling and cleverly show different areas of the city and different things. I mean, there was one time where we could not find this thing, but it was like, well, it sounds like a wind chime. And we finally realized it was like, oh, it's all the way over here in the corner of this big city block that you're supposed to look at.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the entrance to basically Chinatown, like the equivalent of that in that area.
Was it using the DualSense?
Ooh, probably. I don't know on PS4.
I
just
can't
thought that would be a
remember.
cool thing if they did.
It might have been. Because, well, yeah, I'd have to ask Lizzie. She'd know. But I just really like that use of storytelling with that mechanic, because the fact that the game takes place in a city, there's just so much around. So making you identify very specific sounds was a really satisfying way to take in the detail that was in the surroundings. I mean, like those wind chimes, you might have seen the giant archway that they were in and been like, oh, cool, awesome. But to use the sound like that to really tell a story, just like my cat's telling the story next to me here. I just really like that. Also, another thing about Miles Morales is that game takes place in this time of year. It happens during Hanukkah and Christmas. And man, that made it just like really appropriate to have it. Like you walk around the city and everybody's like, hey, happy Hanukkah. It's like, oh, this is the closest thing to actually being in the city right now. Like it's closer to the real thing than the real thing.
I will
social interaction.
Right. I will say, Thomas, to that point, I did not like the soundscape pieces in Miles Morales. Like basically after I did that first mission, I'm like, I'm like, I'm not gonna go find these. That's the one I'm doing. I just didn't. For me, I just didn't connect to. I get what it means to the story, but it's a side mission that to me is go look for the thing, hear the thing. All right, you're done. Get out of there. That doesn't really. It doesn't give me anything. Like, I guess you would get some experience for it, and maybe some tech points. I guess on Miles Morales, but I got the suit I want, so I'm not. That stuff isn't as big of a deal to me as making sure I'm getting the side missions done in this RPG that I could get, some gear or a new weapon or those kind of things from in Cyberpunk. And that stuff is done very well in Cyberpunk.
I completed all the Riddler things for Arkham Asylum, so I can't relate to that.
Jesus Christ.
Can't relate. For one extra line of dialogue, I think it was.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the payoff on that wasn't great.
I'm going to get the Platinum to God of War, which includes going and getting all the Ravens of Odin, which I can vaguely tell what area they're in, but some of the areas are absolutely massive. So there's no way I'm not doing that specific thing without a guide. There's no way.
Right.
Well, you can listen for them. They have a specific audio cue when they're around.
That's true, but probably if the struggle there is that if I'm playing that, I'm probably, unless I'm streaming it, I'm probably going to be playing it on my couch without headphones. And I've noticed without headphones, it is way harder for me personally to hear that stuff. Because I actually, the first area I ever looked up the walkthrough for those Ravens, it had turned out that literally as I was pulling up the thing on the internet, the thing was squawking at me, and I didn't hear it until I put my headphones on, and I was just like, oh, I didn't even know that was happening.
Oh, hey.
So, yeah, that illustrated to me. I was like, yeah, I'm going to need my handheld with this one. So,
yeah.
I really don't like to look stuff up, but I think I'm going to make an exception for that.
I haven't looked up much of anything at all in Cyberpunk, but a game like a CRPG like Divinity, Original Sin 2, I constantly look stuff up. I'm like, this puzzle doesn't make any sense. How do I think? And I would read like the first few lines and be like, oh, okay, now I get it, and then put it away. Some of those games you just need a guide for, because it's like, how the fuck would I ever figure that out?
I'm stuck on stuck's not the right word, but in Spelunky 2, the next shortcut I have to unlock seems impossible. It seems totally... In the first game, there was a challenge which is like, hey, take the key from the very first area through like 15 levels to the person at the end who has the shortcut who's asking for it, which is a challenge because that game's all about picking items up and using them. But if you're holding the key that they need, then you can't pick up anything else.
Right.
In Spelunky 2, my current shortcut task is to take one of the hired hands it's to get to her with a hired hand. And dude, those hired hands are suicidal. They're kamikaze all the time. I can't get them to like stay put and not jump in the lava. I just have no idea how I'm possibly going to keep a hired hand alive to get to the shortcut. So if I don't get that this next week, I'm definitely looking that up, because I've been racking my brain at work all week trying to figure out how in the world I'm going to solve that.
Well, can't you like lift the hired hand?
Yep, but I discovered this week that they don't like to be held for very long, so they will jump out of your hands.
Oh.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to do. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just carry him like I carried the key. But no, he did not like that at all.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to get you on Super Meat Boy when it comes out.
Yeah.
No.
Well, Super Meat Boy Forever is different than Super Meat Boy.
That's true, but I did actually this week after I played Spelunky, I ended my stream by playing more of the Celeste content that I haven't beaten, and I'm gonna keep vibing on Celeste for a bit till I clear that out.
As the year from hell 2020 is coming to a close, our party topic is looking forward to 2021 and our 5 most anticipated gaming things of the upcoming year. We'll each go around giving one until we've done all of our 5. And who wants to start?
Me.
Tomas.
The person that wrote the least on there.
I mean in our show notes. No, but I have real things. 3 of my things are just vague things. They're also the same things that I had last year and probably the year before that.
But we can expound on those. So.
Well, because what I want, we live in the age of Fortnite, right? And I always want more crossplay. And just at the Game Awards that just happened, we saw Master Chef himself and Kratos and The Walking Dead and a bunch of stuff. They're all in Fortnite now. Those are just characters, but I like how that symbolizes how Fortnite specifically has ushered in the age of crossplay. Because even though there wasn't like a hardware change, it wasn't the upgrade to PS5 and Xbox Series X or anything like that. It was Fortnite that ushered in crossplay, and once they did, everybody else had to follow, which is great because now that is the standard and that it's expected, you're going to see it more often, and that means that people can play the same games that they own with their friends, regardless of what platform they bought. I understand the console wars and all this stuff. People are like, oh, look at these games, or all my friends are over here on this console, and that's why I'm going to choose it. But I don't care about a lot of that. Most games, I will play almost anything if I can play it with my friends, and I'm looking forward to yet another year of even more crossplay. Because whatever we're going to do, I want to do it with everybody.
Yeah.
A little asterisk wish list on that is I wish the Game Pass PC and Xbox functionalities, I wish those talk to each other a little bit better.
God, yeah, it's so bad.
We've had some trouble, especially since that's technically crossplay, but it is the same gaming service by the same gaming company. So I don't know that it is crossplay, but it isn't. But anyway, I want to see that stuff get smoothed out even more. I just love being able to play with everybody all the time. So yeah, that's part looking forward and part wish list for 2021.
Yeah, what's it? Among Us is on Game Pass as of today, and I'm a little worried about how we're all gonna get together and do that via the
I'm
Xbox
sure
app.
The servers will be on fire. Pretty much every time I've ever played, the servers have been on fire, but it worked out. Just takes a little patience.
It's cross-platform, but all you need is like a code to get into the room, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we should be good there.
So it's going to be fine.
You don't have to like
really
add people with like friend codes or anything like that. It's just you enter a room.
private code. Same as like Phasmophobia.
Okay.
Which I'm coming around on. I think I like that system of linking up because like the Nintendo Switch friend system, the Game Pass friend system, not good. Not good at all, in my opinion.
Is terrible.
The Game Pass system is so bad.
I tried to add someone when I was playing PSO2, and it took us I was doing this on stream as well. And so I think you might be able to, no, it's too old now. But on stream, I was trying to figure out how to get this to work. And he was like, oh yeah, you got to add me to the to the Game Pass. And so I went to add him to the Game Pass, and it turns out I was already friends with him on the Game Pass. And so it was like, well, I can't invite you through the Game Pass. Can you invite me through your Xbox? And he was like, okay, well, let me try to send an invitation. Oh, we're not friends because we're not friends on Xbox. Okay, so then it was just like a whole nightmare.
When we did our QuickTime event for Deep Rock Galactic, which was on Game Pass, it took us like a whole hour just to join the same party.
You guys got a little heated.
Crazy. Dude,
I was getting so pissed off. I was like, "This is ridiculous." Like, why?
I mean, my gamer tag is 7 fucking years old. Like, there should be no issues at all. It's like anybody I'm gonna play with, I have played with. Like, just add me and we're good. But no.
Yeah.
It's a disaster.
Yeah, I got more to revisit about that. My next thing, but who's next?
Carlos, let's go.
I mean, I'll go since
there you
one
go.
of my things on here is the evolution and future of online play, which can kind of piggyback off of that.
There you go.
I am looking forward to, as you said, everything merging together, being a conglomerate of gaming to where it doesn't matter what you get on what platform, you can still play with your friends. That's why I really like how we played Road Company. Like, I think we all played on different. Well, Chris and I played on PC, but you two played on PlayStation and Xbox respectively.
Yeah,
Thomas and Carlos. And even there's some like party chat issues in that category, which I hope that they mend for like everything. specifically Sony, their party chat.
Yo,
system is
PlayStation
worse.
needs to turn off
It's gotten
it
slightly
needs to
better.
give you a warning when it's picking up your audio, because I'm gonna get in trouble.
It is the worst. But like, I really look forward to the future where we don't have to worry about things like that anymore. Where it's just like, maybe we can all just do the party system, the code system that Among Us and Phasmophobia have.
And
Maybe we
Jackbox
don't-
Party Pack. That's what they do. It's
Yeah,
those little codes.
yeah. And that even works on like across mobile too.
Right.
Yeah, dude,
So, like,
that's
maybe we
a
just
picture
friend
of
codes.
accessibility. People can just play it however they want to play it, and that feels good.
I think that friend codes should be, or adding as a friend, is like obsolete now. You know, yeah, the gamer tag thing is cool, is how you identify yourself, but needing it to add each other as friends when you could just jump into a party with a code seems kind of superfluous.
Mhm.
I don't know, but I wonder then what'll happen to like the old systems. Like if we adopt a new code system, will we not be able to add each other through old consoles? Like if you're playing on an Xbox Series X, Carlos, and like you want to add a friend on the Xbox One X. I hate the system. I hate this naming system. Like, would you still send a friend request, or would it just be a code? Like, no, I mean like the potential code future. Would friend codes be completely obsolete, or would they still be around for same platform?
Yeah, I mean, and it's not like Xbox has a great infrastructure technically for them, but it all relies on the developers. Like they're not always gonna be on the same one track. So like, I feel like we're gonna have to have it all come from the developer side before we can get it completely straight.
Right.
Yeah.
And some of them just won't have the ability to. Like they're spending most of their money on the design aspect or what have you, programming and such. So some of that might be, especially with like indie titles or smaller titles, I'd say be a little lenient on them about having those things, just because they don't have the budgets that some of these other teams have. But I guess we could say that, and then there's Among Us, right? So like they figured out how to do it on the cheap. But.
I wonder then if that would come down to the studios having their dedicated server, because the reason that Rogue Company and Fortnite and Spellbreak all play so seamlessly across the platforms, including the Nintendo Switch, is because Epic Games have their own dedicated server. And it's the same way for Hi-Res. So Paladins and Smite, they all have their own dedicated servers. And so I think that playing cross-platform without a code or without even adding each other, well, I think you still have to add each other as friends, but playing cross-platform because of that is a lot easier, because the dedicated servers make everything, like handling the connections, a lot more convenient. It's an actual network, it's an actual infrastructure, whereas peer-to-peer just looks at like the different the ports of each player, like and connects them that way. And so you have to rely on their internet connection, their ping, their latency, and all that stuff. But dedicated servers just get rid of that.
I feel like Rocket League got a little bit better.
Yeah, well, Rocket League too. They have their own dedicated. So I wonder if it just comes down to something like that.
And to clear up something you said too, Devi, when you were asking callers about the Xbox, all of their consoles talk great to each other. Like you can just, like pretty much that's like their whole thing right now is if your friend's on Xbox One and you're on Xbox Series X, you can still play together and it's fine. That's kind of what they're going for. Yeah. But the disconnect is the PC.
Problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had no problems between PS5 and PS4. It plays just how you want it to.
Right.
Which is nice.
Except the party system.
Some combination of it's new and I'm old.
There's weird.
There's creaky bone age of 30.
Yeah, there's like a weird groups thing now where like me and 4 of my friends are just in a group, and then instead of just like letting me know that my friend started a party, it'll be like my friend started a party in a group, and I'm like, well, what? Why do I need to be in? I'm in the group. do I need to go?
I'm
Like,
excluded.
what's
Oh,
the deal?
God.
Like, it used to just be easy where it would just ping and be like, hey, your buddy started a party. That means either one, a party invite is coming in soon. Or you can click that button and just pop into their party. But now it's like they made it more convoluted for some reason. I don't understand.
Yeah, bring back or move forward to room codes. That's what I say.
That's it.
Give me more pictures of Spider-Man. Room codes.
Carlos, what do you got for me?
I think my point is my lowest of my highly anticipated things next year. I'm really excited to be working on my backlog of RPGs starting early next year. We're probably going to post my blog about it like tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
But I've got about a dozen RPGs to get through, and I'm only working on 2 of them. So I've got 9 or 10 that I really want to get onto next year. Because I fucking love RPGs, period. That's it.
Yeah.
Samesies.
And all of these games that I have are 50 to 70 hours long, and I intend to fully take advantage of that.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, that's definitely my point. Right now I'm going to be playing through the OG Fire Emblem and Cyberpunk. I think that's literally all I have time for.
Yeah.
The remaining 2020. But yeah, 2021 I've got some from this year, some from a few years back, like Ni no Kuni on Switch, like so many things that I need to get to, but I will finally get closer to finishing some of these RPGs that I've been holding on to. And most of them are on Switch, and I'm really excited to get back to playing my Switch. Not that I've really stopped. I mean, I've got like 10 hours in Hyrule Warriors and 5 hours in Fire Emblem. So I'm not slacking there, but at the end of the day, I completed more than 20 games in 2020, and I intend to start fast next year.
I will say, Carlos, I commend you on your stick-to-itiveness of like completing a backlog and like getting through it, because my backlog, it's not climbable. It's just
as long as your beard, dude.
Yeah, it is as long as my beard. It just is it's too big, and there's too much in there in order for me to even know where to start. To even set goals in it. I'm like, well, yeah, but this new thing is coming out, so why would I go? Like I just I wait for those game holes where I don't feel like I have anything to play, to end up going back to something, and those only happen maybe like once or twice a year, maybe. So I almost just don't have the time.
Dude, Cam would always say that he doesn't believe in backlogs because he's like, it just stresses me out, and I can't think of what I'm not playing. He's like, I can only think about what I am playing, and I'm like, man, that's a pretty good approach to it.
They do exist, though. It's not like it's not. It's they are there. You just if you don't think about them, it's not
like
that big
with
of a deal.
me. My thing is that I am not actually ever bored. I'm not that kind of person. Like I never say I'm bored, and so
lucky.
So for me, it's just about what is bringing me the most joy, and what do I see on that line, that backlog, that will bring me my next good bit. And if I can get through a few of these RPGs, I might actually play a new game next year.
It's funny that you are very good at getting through games, and also the genre you have chosen is the most difficult. It's like the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, props to you. There was a period there where you were coming out with like blog after blog where you're like,
12 straight weeks.
This week, you're like, this week I completed this game, and I'm sitting here like, I haven't completed a game in 6 years. Like,
yeah.
Carlos will be like 20 years later.
Yeah.
Finally done with the 3rd game of my backlog. Time to
finally finished Ni no Kuni 2.
For real.
for mine, kind of going off of yours, Carlos, I'm excited to finally play Mass Effect. That was a game that I, had watched friends play when they came out, but just never really didn't connect with me. I wasn't really an RPG person at the time. And those the fact that they're coming out in a enhanced or remastered-ish edition is exciting, and I'm excited to see how that goes. The one thing I am worried about with it is the fact that they said that basically all the gameplay from 1 is untouched, it's the same. Which, from what I understand, is a bad idea. So I'm almost wondering if I just start at 2 and go from there. Maybe watch a recap of 1. I don't know. I'm excited to finally get a chance to dig into those and see what all the fuss is about. You know what I mean? In 7 days.
What, 13 years since the first one?
Right, yeah.
Jesus.
Well, just like every year, like everybody's like, oh, it's in 7 days, and I see how many people say it, and I'm like, I didn't even know you played video games. Like, what is happening here? So that had it's a big a cultural impact that I missed, but I want to give them a shot because I honestly, I thought Dragon Age Inquisition was bad. I thought that most of the
I disagree.
I immediately was like, I don't give a shit about any of these characters. Do not care about any of the. I just thought the writing wasn't very good. Anyway, that's me though. I know I'm wrong because that game won a bunch of awards. I gave it the old college try. It was just like, nope. So
Chris, so you're going to start with Mass Effect 1? Question mark.
It depends. So when reviews come out for that collection, I will kind of listen to a lot of podcasts and things when that comes out. So people that I trust, and kind of garner my decision that way. If I'm going to start with one.
Front, I really think you should just start from the beginning. I imagine the remaster is going to be pretty much the game we already see. I mean, the first game is definitely a lot clunkier than the second one, because it's a lot more like Knights of the Old Republic.
I love that game.
Well, then you're going to love that game. I mean, I really liked Mass Effect 1. It's just a lot clunkier. That's all there is to it.
The proximity between Knights of the Old Republic, that's not very far off.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it wasn't that. Yeah.
But I would just stick with it because I had a friend who was a roommate in college. He was going to start the second one because he saw me play the first one, and he was like, man, he watched me play the first one and then go to the second one. And he's like, dude, the combat in the second one seems way better. I think I just want to play that. And I'm like, no. Like the story needs to be set up in the first game. Like it is completely worth it the way they hype everything up, and then you just have the rug pulled out from under you. And I think that's what set up the series, at least the trilogy, for success. So yeah, it's got some clunk to it. The remaster I'm sure will be smoother, but it's not going to be a totally different game. I can't imagine.
No, they've said it's not changing anything. It's just enhanced visuals. So it's not really a remaster. It's just a up-res, basically.
Yeah. Well, hit me up when you do that, because got a lot to talk about.
Well, I think that's in April or May, or it's spring. Sometime in the spring, that'll be coming out, and we'll dig into that. I mean, that's quite an undertaking. It's fucking 3 games.
3 30-minute games, more or less.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Put more time to it. Well, Lizzie did just beat the 3rd game for the first time, very recently. Still holds up.
I mean, it depends on if he wants to do all the side quests.
Yeah. Well, so we'll talk about that later.
We'll get there.
If there are Soundscape side quests, then count them out.
I was not a big fan of those on Spider-Man's. Thomas, what's your next one?
Ooh, I guess I didn't learn how to count to 4, and I wasn't prepared. We talked about Among Us earlier for a bunch of reasons. I want more co-op and casual experiences, multiplayer experiences, like we saw this year with everybody at home. Among Us and Phasmophobia both specifically show that you don't need a huge budget to make an absolute hit success. Among Us, it's a 2-year-old game. It won a bunch of awards at the Game Awards, which I thought was great. But but it's built by a small team, and it's pretty simple. It's the closest thing to a board game that I've played online multiplayer with in a long time. I mean, it's the most that I can think of. But you can play it on your phone. You can play it on PC. Now you're able to play it on Switch and Game Pass, which is incredible. And I had friends who played that with me this year who don't play games. They don't play games at all, none. But they did give Among Us a shot because they could play it on their phone for free. And I want more experiences like that just allow people to be social together in a way that people want to play the way that they're comfortable with. A lot of people get nervous about consoles because they've never used a controller before. Then gaming on a PC can feel weird because like League of Legends, you put your fingers in a different place and it feels foreign. It feels pretty weird if you're not used to it.
Right.
So just lots of examples like that. But Among Us being on your phone made it a lot more accessible. Not having to mess around with friend stuff and being able to type in a room code really is another thing that makes that game accessible. And then that game is hand drawn, basically. I mean, that's not. I don't think it's actually hand drawn, but it's very artistic. It's not built on great graphics. Phasmophobia was made by one person. It looks like it came out on the N64, and it's great. That game is amazing. Well, I love that game.
Bad, but yeah.
And I really enjoy it. It's the other day I was gonna play Phasmophobia sometime this past weekend, maybe Sunday, with some people in our Discord, but people had stuff come up, so we didn't end up playing. But I was like, well, I still kind of want to play this game, so I jumped into a random lobby, which is usually a big risk, and I jumped in with a squad of 3 people who knew each other, and it was great. It didn't hurt that they were our age, so it was a lot easier to communicate with each other. But it was exactly the social experience I was wanting with my friends. I just didn't know them, but I still had the same, social endorphin payoff, I guess. But I love that. Like, the fact that those games are so minimal, the most important part about those games is that you're playing them with friends on a microphone. So I want more of that. Cyberpunk came out this year. The Last of Us 2 came out this year. Animal Crossing came out this year. I mean, Animal Crossing is only on Switch, but that's a real casual social multiplayer game too. I just want more of that. Those things have always existed, but I want companies to double down on that stuff, because even when COVID is over, the need for this isn't going to go anywhere. I mean, it's only going to increase as people continue to have screens in front of them all the time. Being able to socially engage with people in a very chill and or competitive environment is awesome. I want more. And still pictures of Spider-Man.
Well, with everything happening next gen wise, you have the PS5 now, you have the Series X, and then I guess you have the new, for PC, the next gen is the new graphics cards and everything that are coming out, and I'm going to talk about those a little bit later. But I really wonder what Nintendo's going to do. Their console is what, 3-4 years old next year? It's 3 years old now. It's going to be 4 years old. Yeah. So, I mean, they came up with the new edition that has the better battery life, a slightly better processor, I think. I can't remember exactly, but I know it has better battery life for sure. And then they came out with their Switch Lite. So I wonder what's next. Are we going to get the Switch Pro? Are we going to get the new Switch, new Switch Lite, all that stuff that they did with the 3DS? What are they going to do?
Yeah, you gotta think something's coming from them either sometime next year or the year after. I feel like year after might be a little tough. They're always in between generations. They always kind of sit in between the generation. They don't come out with a new console right when the other new consoles drop. They wait it out. They're usually a little less, graphics wise, it's not going to do as much. Power wise, it's not going to do as much. But that's not what you're going to Nintendo for.
Right.
But I think they need. I'm with you. I think they need something like that for at least for the people that are these hardcore gamers that have Switches. I feel like it's leaving a little something to be desired, and just like a graphical upgrade or like just another step for it will do a lot for it, I think.
Yeah.
think too.
Honestly, if they just released like a really souped up version that was affordable, because I think the thing that impressed me the most, Breath of the Wild looks great. When it first came out, it didn't seem to run great, but it looks wonderful, and now I think it plays great. I don't know what they did differently. I don't know if they patched it or what, but it seems fine now. What impressed me was when Mortal Kombat came out. It's a fighting game, and you need it to be right. You need it to perform the way it has to perform. Or it's gonna be bad, or you're totally gonna alienate like the serious demographic. And it runs great. Sometimes like it doesn't look as good, but that's because they care about the performance over the visuals. So if they just upped their game and continued to run everything the way it is, but like if in their next model they were able to run Mortal Kombat the way that we see, even a PS4 run would be fine. Just Nintendo, keep doing your Nintendo thing. I don't need your Switch to be a PS5 or a high-end PC. Keep doing your Nintendo thing, but just make it a little stronger. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd be fine with come out with the Switch U,
Not literally, though.
Yeah, please, Nintendo, don't.
Please.
I know you're listening to this podcast. Please don't do that.
I
Write that down.
yeah, because things like The Witcher 3 on Switch, like I don't know who that's for. Like I just don't know who that's for. Like a big part of that game is the visuals and how great it looks and how good it feels to walk around that world. But seeing gameplay of that on a Switch, that's brutal, man. I don't know who's playing that or doing that.
Yeah,
but
Outer Worlds got a bad rap too. I haven't
same.
seen it firsthand, but I was gonna buy that on Switch, and the reviews were like, steer clear.
See, that's the thing, though.
Yeah.
We're still waiting on developers themselves to fix things because look at Panic Button. If you haven't watched Doom Eternal yet, do it. Go watch a Doom Eternal
that's true.
review on Switch. It's not great, but the frame rate is still steady. You can tell that the textures took a huge fucking hit, huge. But it's still like PC low settings. It's not...
Mm-hmm.
Or even medium sometimes. It's not anything that a PC Master Race person can come by and be like, ha, no, that's laughable. No, it actually is. It's running, it's performing. Like, you can do basically everything you need to do to play the game. It's just not quite as satisfying. It's still most of the experience, though.
So, can you remind me, when you played Control with the Switch streaming system, like whatever,
Yeah.
how did that look compared to, like, I don't know, wherever else you've played it?
Yeah, Control actually it looked very good. That said, I played in performance mode, and I did find that it was significantly better with the motion blur off and the film grain off, the same thing that people are doing with Cyberpunk right now for the regular consoles. And I do see that we've already gotten rumors and actual announcements that more stuff is coming via streaming, but with streaming, there's also queues to play, so that's not great.
internet connection issues, like there's
I
kinda a
mean,
lot.
yeah,
Yeah, because it
but
depends on your, right?
there's a literal queue, which doesn't feel right at all. You can't play a game when you want to play it on Switch. That's like illegal. Like,
Yeah, the game that they used to test it out in Japan was Resident Evil 7?
Yeah.
yeah,
So that's going to be the next one that comes over stateside, I believe.
yeah, and there's rumor that 3 is possibly coming as well, and that I don't even know. I mean, Control is a very similar engine, I guess. But yeah, it ran well. I didn't really have any issues physically playing it. There wasn't really any lag, but again, I was wired in. I had the gigabit Ethernet adapter from Bionic. Like, I had literally everything in my favor to play it as well as possible physically with the system. So I really couldn't say, like, I know somebody from our group actually reached out and said, "Hey, I got control after watching that video," and I was like super stoked. But at the same time, she was like, "Yeah, it's not the greatest, but I will blame my Wi-Fi."
You tricked me.
Yeah, like
You charlatan.
but at the same time, it really is such it's so dependent on your particular situation. So streaming is a little iffy. Stadia, I did see playing better than Project xCloud. Like, there's still so many things up in the air for that.
Stadia totally works.
So,
it's
yeah.
kind of wild.
Exactly. So, like, I think at the end of the day, Nintendo is definitely going to have that system update. I do have the V2, and the battery is definitely the biggest player. The processor isn't much different, but it is more like heat efficient.
Yeah.
So I haven't noticed gameplay improvements necessarily. So yeah, I've definitely been on that same track as you. I really think that all the speculation's probably right as far as Monster Hunter goes.
I hope so. That game looks so gorgeous. I would be so disappointed if we don't get the same like fidelity that we've seen.
Because I absolutely freaked out when they did the new 3DS with that Monster Hunter system. Like, I still want that system. It's like $200 to get that 3DS right now. But if they do that with the Switch, I'd be very excited.
Carlos,
the reason I asked that question was because we've seen through Control that the Switch can process really nice graphics. So, like, what's stopping them? It's not they don't have money. Like, come on.
It's all you.
My quick question, it's sort of a tangent on what Carlos was talking about. Carlos, have you tried the Play with Touch, like xCloud beta on your phone?
No.
It is wild.
I have no desire to. I've talked about xCloud a bit, and I've played not as much as I'd like, but it's really only there for Celeste and I think Ori maybe. But I don't even know if I'd play Ori on touch though.
So what the problem is that button.
Who would play Celeste on touch?
Yeah,
are you telling me that's a way somebody wants to play that game?
That is a finesse game, and that's basically all that is on the system for touch.
Right? Dude,
yes, it's all finesse games, which is why
I don't like that.
Which is why I'm like, this doesn't make a lot of sense. The only one that I could see myself playing, except let me go into the Play with Touch thing here, because I'm trying to make a point about what they're doing with this. So Play with Touch, this is crazy. I don't know how this is on there. So it's Bloodstained, Celeste, Dead Cells, Dragon Quest XI. I'm not sure how that'll work since you have to read so much. The text is going to be so tiny.
I mean, it's just tapping a whole lot. But...
yeah, that could be easier. But then there's like Guacamelee 2, Golf with Your Friends, apparently Gears 5 now, Hellblade,
no,
Hyperdot,
no.
Iconfell, I could see working. Indivisible could work. Minecraft Dungeons could work. But like Scourgebringer and things like that, like I just don't see how. Streets of Rage 4 is on here. Tell Me Why. I could see you could play Tell Me Why on here because you're just clicking.
I couldn't tell you why. It doesn't make sense.
The one I wanted to play, but the text was so small that I couldn't do it, was Slay the Spire. I was going to play Slay the Spire on my phone and do that. And then I thought, wait a minute. I don't have to play it on my phone. I keep trying to play the touch on my phone. You could play it on like a tablet, and it would be much easier, especially for a card game like Slay the Spire. I'm like, I get that what they're trying to do, but like it's for tablets, not really for phones. And even then, like the finesse games should not be on there because it works technically. Like I screwed around in Dead Cells a little bit, but you don't have the command of your movements like you do on a controller.
I think Dead Cells is the closest you're going to get.
You have like the little peripherals that you can plug on either end of the phone, but at that point, you might as well just be playing on your console or your PC.
And if you go anywhere away from a router, if you go anywhere away from the router, you start losing connection very fast.
Well, this just plain and simple seems like Xbox's answer to the Switch. I mean, I talk about how much I like to be able to play in handheld mode on our couch. Well, that's just what Xbox is doing. It says, hey, your TV's busy? Great. Play on your phone. Play on your tablet. I mean, it doesn't have to be amazing. It doesn't even have to be as good as the Switch, but it gives you the opportunity to play without having a TV.
True.
Yeah.
That said,
Accessibility.
yeah, definitely stability. Gears 5 and Plague Tale, absolutely unplayable.
Yeah,
I
no way.
tried many times on xCloud beta. Just not gonna happen. I was in the middle of a boss fight in Gears 5 where I was needing to dodge roll a lot, and it was not happening, and I was dying a lot. So
Well, what
yeah.
is dying but the ultimate dodge roll?
If they could figure out a way to make touch controls better for a phone, like make it more like track your fingers better, I think this could work and could be really fucking cool. But right now, the technology just isn't there.
Just play with two styluses. Styli?
Oh,
Styling?
Oh my god!
Like
I want
pop sticks, just like.
yeah.
Debbie, if you make that video, I will absolutely help. Yes.
Cool.
I got chopsticks, so we'll just.
Buy me
knock
the
this out.
technology, and we got it.
Carlos, what's your next one?
Yeah, I am. This is a quick one for me. I am really excited about the Medium, because honestly, I feel like this past year or so has been pretty bad for horror games. I always play every Resident Evil, so I've got them, you know. But the Medium seems to be taking full advantage of the Series X, and it's one of those games that is trying a little bit of something new in the horror genre, and I am down for it. I cannot get enough of creepy vibes, creepy landscapes, and Troy Baker being a bad guy. Like, you can't go wrong. If they do mess this up, then I'm going to be extremely mad. But, yeah.
Troy Baker, great bad guy in Miles Morales. He's incredible in that. Really enjoyed that. I was like, who is
Also,
that?
a really good bad guy in Death
Oh,
Stranding.
Is he?
Yes.
That's him.
Yeah, the guy that runs the corporation that sucks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good for him. Yeah.
Good for that guy. That's in
I
everything.
like that guy's voice. I just didn't realize that was Troy Baker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's
I
great.
really like his voice.
That's right.
My number 4 for me is Kena, Bridge of Spirits, from Ember Labs, that is coming to PlayStation 4 and 5 and Epic Game Store. Got some Pikmin qualities, some super incredible visuals, looking just straight like a Pixar movie. It's a game I'm most excited for next gen wise, besides NBA, and it just looks insane. And I'm excited to play something that gives me some Kubo of the Two Strings vibes, and I just want more of those. This looks like a Pixar movie, but I'm playing it, you know.
My next one is I want more remasters, re-releases, backwards compatibility. I am playing on my PS5, and I haven't even played a single PS5 game yet. I'm playing all the stuff in there for my logistical reasons in the living room, because I want to keep my PS4 in here. Anyway, I'm having a great time, but what I like about that is that anybody who's never owned a Sony system can buy the PS5 and still have access to the awesome catalog of games that I've been enjoying on the PS4. I just love the idea of games that hold up in the test of time. I mean, they're perfectly good games, but they might just be for an older system that you don't own, or for whatever reason you don't have access to the game. I'm just looking for more of that, where people can play highly recommended games. I mean, even like Mass Effect. I'm glad that even newer audiences are going to have an opportunity to play such a highly acclaimed series. Like I said before, Phasmophobia straight up looks like an N64 game. It could have come out like 3 years after GoldenEye, but who cares, because the game rocks. So if people are willing to play games despite the graphics, then just keep these remasters out, or these re-releases. I don't even need a new coat of paint on it. Just give me the same thing. Just let me play it on whatever system I own.
Yeah.
The Phasmo devs are going to come in and be like, Thomas, bro, you're Stop.
Dude, it's
Keep playing, but it doesn't look like 64, man. Come on. Come
well, I
on.
mean, literally one dude made that, and it's his first game, so I don't think he'll be bad.
That's funny. Like the like
They're like,
flipping
man, he
through
keeps
everything is
staying in
hilarious.
64.
Yeah. I totally want them to join in this conversation.
He's like, listen here.
So when you were designing Phasmophobia using the N64 graphical engine,
What the?
Do I
The
need to?
cartridge that you were using.
Yeah, right. And does the DLC require a Rumble pack or?
oh, is there a cartridge version that you can stick into the back like in Pokemon Stadium? Like,
Oh
what
my
are your
God.
plans for the future? Well, I'm actually going to just go ahead and talk about the NVIDIA cards. So I have an NVIDIA card right now, the 2080 in my thing. And when the 3080 was announced, I was like, I literally just upgraded like 6 months ago. Why are you doing this to me? I don't have the money. You are so mean. NVIDIA, stop trying to eat all of my finances. But now they're coming out with, I think it was, if it hasn't been released yet, it will be released soon. The TI editions of stuff. So the 3080 Ti will be coming out soon, which is going to be optimized, a little less powerful, but still more powerful than the original 3080 and also my 2080. So I'm really looking forward to entering the next gen of the PC race with that, and then all the other equivalents that'll be coming out. There's going to be so many from AMD and all the other graphic card people. So I'm just looking forward to seeing with the PC into the new next gen. I guess is the short way of saying that, because we got the Xbox Series X, 5. PC race needs to come out with all their new stuff so we can have our sparkly new advantages again.
Yeah.
And not be fighting bots for every single purchase.
Right.
Please. Why? Why is the world?
Carlos, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Monster Hunter Rise. I'm a big fan of the idea of Monster Hunter. I haven't played as much as I'd like, but looking at what Nintendo's pushing for Rise, it's definitely going to be a nice meld of the world version versus the OG Monster Hunters, and the fact that maybe, just maybe, we cross our fingers enough, maybe we will have a new system with that release, and it's just less than 4 months away. I'm really excited to see what Switch is doing, because Nintendo's putting a shit ton of money behind it. They're talking about it way more than they normally talk about any games, and Capcom is like all about it. and even through the Monster Hunter movie bullshit, I think Rise is gonna come out as a very big winner. It's gonna sell a lot, and I think it really does kind of bring home the whole next gen Nintendo feel.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with how the success of World and the fact that they decided to make a movie, however
Fantastic it is.
Yeah, poor the movie is. That's a big driving force, and that's why you see so much. I feel like maybe that the game is great, but I feel like it's off the back of how big World was. They're going to push really hard, and with the movie coming out, they're also pushing very hard.
Well, Monster Hunter found great success in Generations on the 3DS and the Switch, so I don't really
That's
think
true.
it depends so much on that, especially with the movie, because that's going to pop.
World was their highest selling game ever, right? Capcom's
highest game? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
I think it's pretty high up there, but the funny thing with Capcom is they always extremely over exaggerate their the sales that they expect, and then they're like, oh no, that underperformed. It's like, boy, it sold 4.5 million. Like, chill out. But I think they probably sold a good 3.5 million copies of the last Monster Hunter on Switch. So they're kind of in it for the long haul at this point.
All I know is that Mizutsune better be in it.
Monster
Mizutsune's on Worlds, and I need Mizutsune right now.
Monster
Capcom,
Hunter
you
World
hear me? I'm coming for you.
is their highest selling game at 16.1 million sales.
Nice.
So
Wow.
very big game for the game. Sold more than Street Fighter 2, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, Resident Evil 4.
Wow, a game
More than
outperforming a
4.
zombie game? Who could imagine?
Crazy.
It's like
Oh,
an
yeah.
overdone genre or something.
That said, outselling 4 is an accomplishment. 4 is one of the greatest of all time. I mean,
Yeah.
I will always stand by that one, at least. Maybe not all the rest, but 4, yes.
My third thing is sharing more video game moments with my girlfriend. She's not a big gamer, but with party invite happening and everything, she's been more open to playing things and trying things out. We're going to play tomorrow night. We're actually going to play some more Sackboy Big Adventure, and I'm gonna dive into some Among Us, so that I'm prepped for Saturday and ready to go for that. So
Heck yeah.
just sharing more moments like that would be fun. Just because I'm in my little office here with my computer and stuff, and like you were talking about, Thomas, the separation, not being on the couch together, that kind of gets to you. So you want to be able to share those things. So doing more of that in 2021 is something I'm very looking forward to.
Dude, here. I'm definitely looking forward to that too.
Baz and I were just talking about moving my system because I'm in my little office like across the apartment.
Right.
And we have like space that we're not using in our living room. But then I was like, if I'm streaming or whatever, then we'll disturb each other. And so it's like this kind of double-edged sword. It's like, I want to see you, I want to feel you. And then
Yeah.
but the background, it's a whole thing to figure out. So I'm
Right.
really looking forward to like It Takes Two and other multiplayer
Yes.
experiences that we'll be able to play together while also figuring all that out.
Absolutely.
That one might actually change a whole lot of relationships at the end of the day. And I will say that definitely to add on that, since we've talked about online play so much about 2021, like if it's a multiplayer game, if it's a game that touts local multiplayer, if there's not an online opportunity, that's really going to rub me the wrong way in the future. Battletoads killed me.
Yeah.
I'm still mad about that.
Yeah. I played through Battletoads the night it released. I was super excited, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But having only local co-op is a travesty, and that's the reason that game didn't review well. I mean, you can't expect that in the pandemic.
That's not the only reason it didn't review well, but that is a big reason.
It's a good game, though.
Yeah, Stardew Valley only has local multiplayer. The two options are play over Wi-Fi or play over like the NFC thing. But both of them require you to be right next to each other. And I'm like, dude, yeah. I know people who were playing. I mean, we're playing on Switch, so I would get it if they didn't allow you to do crossplay, because there are a lot of differences between the different platforms, the localization. But at least let me play with other Switch people, or let me buy it on PC and let me play it online. Well, I can't speak about the PC, but I can tell you on Switch you can only do local, and that does rub me the wrong way. It's a real bummer. We're having a great time, but I want to play with more people.
Yeah.
You know what's not just local? Streets of Rage 4. Get it now. Okay, cool. That's
exactly.
Thomas, what's your second one?
Let's see. Where am I? I said da. 3 games. I looked at the lists of stuff that is coming out next year. That Games Radar article. And 3 of the things that stuck out to me are Darkest Dungeon 2. Really looking forward to that. Yep. I still have to finish beating the first one. But boy, I sure really, really like that game. Another one is Dark Pictures. We still haven't gotten together because of COVID. We want to get together in person. Certainly I'd like to play the next, not the sequel to Man of Medan, but the next one in that anthology, because they're all, well, it's an anthology, so they're not related. So Little Hope is out right now, but we haven't played it. Right. But next year, hopefully we'll play Little Hope sometime soon, and then next year the third one in that series will come out, and I'm looking forward to that too. That was a great casual multiplayer experience. That one you could play either locally with 5 people, up to 5 people, or you could play it online with 2 people, which is fucking awesome. So I'm just looking forward to more of that. I love that kind of multiplayer vibe. The third thing I saw on that list is the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. The Stanley Parable probably came out in 2012 or something. That game is very funny. I think it's still the funniest game I've ever played by quite a bit. That game just had me laughing out loud a lot. and the Ultra Deluxe, it says, is basically a DLC to that game. Which that game doesn't technically need a sequel because that's a game that doesn't rely on graphics intensity or anything like that. So this is me telling everyone who can hear this to go play the Stanley Parable on PC.
2011
and then when this
was
2011. Okay.
Wow.
And then play Ultra Deluxe next year when it comes out. Really, that game made me laugh so much.
It's very fun.
And funny games really hit me just the right way.
I believe there's also like a virtual reality experience for Stanley Parable as well, right?
Yes.
You can play it on VR.
Yes.
Is there? Okay. Well, I gotta check that out.
Well, I'm just gonna piggyback off of that one and say like all these video games that are coming out, I'm so excited about. Like the Video Game Awards was like Halloween should have been for me. It was just candy, 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 candy. Gimme, gimme,
Yeah.
gimme, gimme, gimme. I need all of it. Crimson, Rise of Ashes, or Age of Ashes, or whatever it's called. Oh my god, I can't even wait.
Yeah.
I want to play Star Fox Dragons so bad. I
Yeah,
want it.
yeah.
I want it.
Yes.
It needs to be in my life
Tell me
right
more.
now. I'm really looking forward to Crimson Desert because I wanted to get into Black Desert, but then by the time I was interested in it, like it had already taken off, and I
Too
didn't want to be
far.
overwhelmed
Yep.
by everything. Just like with Destiny 2, I don't want to do all that. Ain't got time. I'm really looking forward to all of the new like battle royale stuff that's going to be changing up the way that the genre works. So like Eternal Return, like I said earlier, really looking forward to diving into that. I'm looking forward to diving into the Scavengers, because it's a battle royale, but it's like PvE, VP, VE, VP. So there's like a whole bunch of different elements that just make it better than 100 people drop into a zone, kill them. Okay, cool. The end, you win.
Right.
The end. So just a whole bunch of stuff that I want to play right now, and I can't. I just can't.
Touche.
It's 2020. Where's my time travel? Where's my machine?
Yeah, right.
Carlos, what do you got for me?
Yeah, I think I'm actually combining my top couple, actually. Definitely having this slightest sliver of hope that I can get a Series X, because 2020 just ain't it. 2021, I have a chance. So getting a Series X is definitely one of my priorities, and I'm still super excited.
I mean,
of
you
course,
have one by now if you wanted to pay double the price and an arm and a kidney.
Right.
Oh yeah, if I just dropped $900, I could totally get one right now.
Wow,
Who wants
there's
to
your
live in
answer.
who wants to live in a place?
I thought you said there was a problem.
Oh yeah.
You mean you don't just have $900 to blow? Wow. Can't relate.
I mean, I'll piggyback off of
Can it
Carlos's,
be me?
and my second one is obtaining a PS5, because that is a goal of mine in 2021. Hopefully,
You know
sooner
what?
than later. But
You know
Just
what
gotta
the
be a princess.
PS5 is. You know what the components are made of?
I don't.
Unobtainium.
Oh no.
Why did I
That's
see
a-
that coming and it's
Did we
still
have-
just
Did we have two Avatar references here?
I think we did.
Oh,
James
God.
Cameron, please sponsor the
no.
show.
please, please.
Thomas, what is your the thing you're looking forward to most in 2021?
I am really looking forward to building my stream because I've never properly streamed until the past 6 months or so. But man, I really just have so much fun talking to everybody on, especially the Facebook page, but also in our Discord. Sorry, Twitter, I don't like you very much.
It's
like
only like
this.
20 people.
I really just have so much. I get so much satisfaction out of talking to people online and making friends through our community. I met a lot of people this year through Among Us, and now most of those people that I met are somehow involved in our community. So now I continue to talk to them or play with them. I'm really liking that stuff. I have to admit, the reason I haven't even installed my capture card yet, even though I got it like 2 weeks ago or something. I mean, I haven't set up any of the stuff I bought. It's sitting here. I'm excited for it, but I'm also nervous. It's just a lot of stuff. I always get nervous anytime I have to hook up open up my PC, or install hardware and stuff. So I'm anxious, but excited. So I'm really wanting to learn how to do a lot of stuff, like invest in myself, learn how to do some video editing, learn how to properly build and brand my stream, like my personal stream, and then to continue, being a community member and manager for for Party Invite. I just love talking to people about video games. I wish that there was just like a waterfall of money that existed somewhere that just appeared because I talked to people about video games. I'm like, hey, I talk a lot, so money, right?
Right.
So I don't know. We'll get there someday. I love seeing people clearly be comfortable with what we're doing and themselves and all that stuff. So I love that. I'm if this is what a month and a half looks like, I cannot wait to see what we do next year.
Gosh, I know you guys are tired of hearing me say this, but I'm going to pick it back off of Thomas. Because I actually do have, it's funny because he didn't write any of his down, and I wrote all of mine down, and they just happened to segue perfectly together. But as I have said before, it's Gung Ho Studios. They are responsible for Puzzles and Dragons, Teppen on the phone, and Ninjala on the Switch, as well as the game Let It Die, which is kind of like a Souls-esque roguelike. This isn't new to me, but it is different because I'm an online presence now. It's an online ambassadorship. So I'm like a face, but I'm not like the body. Does that make sense? Like I can't go to people and inform people about the thing. All of my info and intel is going to be coming to me from them.
Right.
And then I'll have to, present that in an amiable fashion to an audience. Whereas with Nintendo, I was like, I could literally just tell everyone everything that I already knew. So it's going to be a really interesting experience. And I'm looking forward to the future it'll provide for growth, not only for me personally, but also for like my stream on Twitch and on YouTube, because I just restarted my YouTube because I'm hoping to bring more content to that as well. And it's going to be really different, delving into that whole universe of representing a company while also representing myself. So it's going to be intriguing. I'm really happy about the possibilities of.
Yeah,
really
we'd all love to see you cosplaying at a convention for it.
Absolutely.
Oh, you already know. Although it's going to be hard for me to cosplay anything from Ninjala, so I might have to do something from someone else. We'll see what Puzzles and Dragons has for me.
There you go.
Yes, there you go.
Carlos, most anticipated thing.
Oh, I'm gonna
My
have
cosplay,
to.
weren't you listening? No.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Oh, moving
I'm gonna
on.
have to go with Debbie. No, I have to go with Halo Infinite. It would have been my most anticipated for this year, but shit happens.
Shit does happen.
So yeah, I am super excited. This is the longest we've had to wait for a Halo game, and Halo has been, I think, overall the most impactful game that I've ever played as a series. It really made me who I am as a gamer for the most part, and bringing it back to a little bit of the way back version of Halo. Versus 4 and 5, which I still loved 4 and 5. Don't get me wrong at all. I am a Halo lifer, but at the end of the day, this is the quintessential Halo experience, we hope, and I really can't wait to get back to that.
I hope it works out for you. I'm not sold.
I have a problem.
Just heartfelt story, just heartfelt, just pouring the depths of his soul out, and then Chris is like, "Okay."
Hope it works out. Well, I do. I am not.
It's gonna be a great game. What are you talking about?
I'm not high on
Oh my
it, so I hope that you get
Let me
the
just
joy
press
out
F
of
on my
it.
keyboard right quick. Just
Please do, Debbie. Thank you. Thank
oh yeah,
you.
I've got it. F.
F in chat.
F.
Thank
Effing
you.
ripples.
I think it's gonna be fantastic, though. I definitely it obviously had issues in July, but that was like alpha or even worse. I don't even know. It was a very bad version of what they had already.
Right.
Obviously, multiplayer is going to be different, especially with whatever their new potentially battle royale
Free to
multiplayer is
play
going to be.
is what it's.
Yeah,
gonna be
free
too.
to play. That means that they're going to be paying even more attention to it. And honestly, even though Halo 4 and 5 were both a little more questionable, 5 did bring back some of the more competitive parts of multiplayer. So, like, you can only get worse in campaign or multiplayer, and I don't think that either is actually going to be worse than they were in 5. So,
Hell yeah.
I'm looking up.
Do you think they'll have a stage creator?
What's that?
Do you think they'll have a stage creator?
I honestly feel like they're gonna have to bring back a version of Forge, and especially with the capabilities of the new system.
Yeah.
They have to be able to do so many more things, and they have the money. Like, they're gonna have some more microtransactions in this, whatever the battle royale mode ends up being.
Oh, they're gonna have a battle pass.
Yeah, and
Oh yeah.
like Halo 5, they actually did make money off of the multiplayer stuff. So, and I never bought a pack, but I know that this upcoming version has to make at least a little bit of money. I don't even think that they released numbers for what they made from Halo 5, but at the end of the day, they're going to make money off this battle royale. So they're going to have the capabilities of improving multiplayer and potentially a Forge in the near future. But I'm technically there for single player.
Yeah.
But
well, if they really want to make money, all they have to do is just hype it up for 8 years and then release an unfinished product.
Boom.
Right? CD Projekt
Ding!
My number one thing I'm looking forward to most is seeing what's in store for Party Invite.
That's us.
That's us.
Yeah.
Wait, us?
Like Thomas said, it's only been a month and a half, almost, not even yet, and it's been exciting to see people connect with it, and like Thomas said, be more vocal in the group and things like that. So I'm excited to see what comes in 2021. We'll be getting some review codes for things and a lot more really great guests. So looking forward to what the future holds for Party Invite. Very excited for it. If you can tell by my deadpan delivery.
Definitely. Is this where we say like, share, subscribe, follow, and all
Like,
that?
share, subscribe,
No,
follow.
this is where we
Leave your
say,
opinions down in the comments below.
Ring the
this is where
bell.
we tell Chris, yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with it. Hope that works
Yeah,
out for
whatever
you.
you're doing. So.
Hope that works out for you, bud. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. This all stemming out of the pandemic that hopefully is coming close to an end with vaccines and things going out. So
It's been a hell of a year.
it's been a hell of a year. And with 2021 and the vaccines going out, maybe we'll be able to do some events, get to meet and hang out with everyone. All that would be really, really nice. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yay.
Me too.
Thomas,
Same.
what you got for that
Oh, I
community?
don't have the sixth one.
What you got for a community spotlight?
Community spotlight. I got this right here.
Okay, cool.
All right, so our community spotlight this week is Lord Chrome. He's one of the newest guys. His first name is Jabari.
Bye-bye.
Boom, boom.
He last month, so for November, he was actually our top contributor in the Facebook group, and he's only been in there like a month.
A
Bro,
month, yeah.
today,
yeah.
that's like 70 plus comments on one post. Come on.
Yeah.
It's great, and we're happy to have him. So he is Lord Chrome. You can find him on Twitch. He's at twitch.tv/LordChrome375. So that's Chrome, of course, Chrome. His little bio here he wrote for us is, "My name is Jabari. I've been gaming since 1995. Starting with Sonic 2 on the Sega Genesis." Oh, there's a period there. That's the end of the sentence. Started with Sonic 2 on the Sega Genesis. Since then, I've played a variety of games ranging from FPS, roguelike, Sims, and story-driven. Video games have always been a passion of mine, and I love going into deep conversation with others. And that's the truth. He's been talking a whole lot in our Facebook group, and people like him are the reason that it's really fun to check the group in the morning and throughout the day.
Absolutely.
The internet has a lot of places where people aren't supportive all the time.
Right. Yeah.
But I can firmly say that our community is not one of those places, and it's thanks to Jabari, Lord Chrome, and a lot of really other great people in our community. So, so go check him out. Lizzie and I actually watched him play the beginning of Fallen Order, the Star Wars game, the most recent one. A recent Star Wars one.
Yeah, it's not the most recent, but yeah.
we lost track. We forgot that VODs only last like 14 days on Twitch, so the ship kind of sailed for us. But he's very new to streaming, and he said when I was talking to him that he really appreciates the support that he's gotten in the like 3 weeks that he's been streaming, and that it's rallied him to be, to kind of put that support back into other people. And
awesome.
That was a really great thing to hear. So thank you, Jabari, for being a great community member. Anybody hearing this, if you would like to be one of our community spotlights, DM me on whatever, or party invite on whatever account, on whatever platform, and we'd love to learn more about you.
Absolutely.
And good luck with that.
Good luck with that. Devi, you did such a good job last time. I'm going to ask you to do it again. Will you let people know where they can go and follow us?
Yes. So you can follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. You can look us up on Facebook at, I believe, facebook.com/partyinviteshow. Or you could just, search Facebook using the search feature Party Invite. We are the public group. Also, we do have a page, but if you'd like to engage with us and our community, please add the group. As well on Twitter, twitter.com/partyinviteshow. You will find all of our little blurbs there as well. And we get a lot of engagement on our polls there. So if you like voting, get on Twitter.
Who doesn't?
Also follow us on Instagram, Party Invite Show. We're pretty ubiquitous. We post some pictures there and give us a little insight about what you are going to be expecting in our current episodes. Follow us on YouTube at Party Invite Show. Is it Party Invite Show?
Just straight up Party Invite.
I think it's just Party Invite. Yeah. We don't
have
have
we say.
We don't have a.
Pretty much ubiquitous.
We don't have a slash.
One that we don't. Okay. So I was like, there's one that we're not Party Invite Show on it. It's YouTube. And I mean, you might be watching us already there. Here. Yeah.
I hope so.
I hope so too. We have all the rest of our video content, our QTEs, our quick looks and co-op events, things like that. Also, we have our audio podcasts on Spotify and on Apple Music. And if you need a refresher of that at all, please visit our link tree at linktr.ee/partyinvite.
Yep, nailed it.
No, it's just Party Invite. I just looked it up.
It's either or. And really, if you find Party Invite, you're going to find us, period.
Yeah. Just look for the colorful, cool colored logo with the purples and the blues.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's the one. All right, y'all. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We have a special episode coming for the holidays. Try to space that out a little bit so we have some content for y'all during that. But we're probably
y'all better be decked out for that, by the way.
Oh,
I want to see
Christmas
the best holiday. Mm-hmm. I mean, whatever holiday you celebrate.
Perfect. We'll do that. But thank you all for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.